Teach One Farms. Just want to make a quick video. Pardon me. Just want to make a quick video to answer a couple of frequently asked questions that I get when I'm at the markets or just when I'm telling people about the Bokashi Bucket in general. So I just want to make this video, answer a couple of these questions. I might be doing another video like this answering more questions, but I'm just going to answer a few of the questions that I tend to get quite often. So the first one that I want to address is people ask me, what can't you put inside your Bokashi bucket? So I always say it's easier for me to tell you what you can't put in than what you can put in, because you can put in so much stuff. So what you can't put in is anything that has a lot of liquid content, something like a soup, or maybe like a watery chili, or maybe something that has like a lot of sauce. So maybe if you made like a rigatoni with like a meat sauce. What you want to do is you want to drain off any of that liquid and then take whatever's left over and then put that in your Bokashi bucket. Okay, so you want to stay away from anything really liquid. The other thing you want to stay away from too that will ruin the fermentation process is anything that's really greasy. So don't you guys shouldn't be pouring that stuff down the sink. I know there's places where you can take it, but all that grease or whatever you wanna discard of that separately. If you have like a piece of meat or something like that that's kind of greasy, just wash it off first, and then you can put it. Then you can put that into your Bokashi bucket. Okay. Next question is, what do you do when your Bokashi bucket is full? All right. So you've been layering your food waste inside of your bucket with the activator mix. Great job. So what you're going to do is, in order to finish off the process, the fermented waste needs to get mixed with the soil. So you have two options for that. Okay? One option is that you can dig a trench in the ground, and if you want to know what this trench looks like, you can check out my other video, Bokashi Bucket How To, where I go through the whole process. You'll see me dig my trench in my yard, and you can copy that. So you dig a trench in the ground. Mine's about shovel head wide, shovel head deep, about 4 feet long. The key is when you bury it in the soil is that you do thin layers. The thinner the layer, the faster it's going to break down. So you don't want to dig this this really narrow hole. It's not that long and really deep, because it's not going to break down quickly. So that's option number one. You bury it in the soil, in a trench, and then you keep it there for 4 weeks. Option number two is, if you don't have a space to bury or you don't want to, then you can place it in some sort of large storage bin. And I like to use something that is, I don't know, 20 gallons plus. You want something pretty big. This is something that you can put on your lanai. What's cool about this is that when you empty your trash in there and you cover it up with dirt and you let that sit for 4 weeks and it breaks down, boom, you got a nice bin full of fresh soil that you can start pulling from and using. So it's nicely kind of organized and compact, and some people like that a little bit better. For more information on how to do that, you can see another video I've made on my YouTube channel called Burying Your Bokashi Bucket in a Storage Bin, or something like that. You'll find it. It's not too hard. If you can't, shoot me an email and I'll send you the link. Okay, moving on. All right, what happens if your bucket smells? Okay, I get this sometimes, and your bucket should not smell rotten. It should have a sweet and sour smell to it. So if your bucket smells rotten, there's something that you're not doing right. So there's a couple of things that you can check. So the first thing that you want to check to make sure is that you're adding enough Bokashi. So what you might want to start doing is adding twice as much in what you've been adding before, and you might want to start adding it more frequently. So that's the first step. If that doesn't work, then the next thing, the other thing that you want to check too is make sure that you've drained out any fluid or any liquid from the spigot. If liquid has built up in there and it starts to get into contact with the food waste, it can ruin the fermentation process. So add more Bokashi, make sure you're draining your bucket. The other thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that your lid is on tightly. If you're just kind of like loosely putting it on there and keeping it like that, you are air is going to get in there, it's going to ruin the fermentation process, and your bucket's going to start to stink. If the problem persists, you can do two things. You're just going to bury it, and then you're going to shoot me an email and say, hey, my bucket stinks, I've done this, this, and this, how can you help? Most likely, I'll send you a free refill of your activator mix, because sometimes that stuff goes bad. We're dealing with a live microorganism, and sometimes it's not as effective. It happens few and far between, but sometimes we get a bad batch. The other thing I want to address, this is not a question, but more of a suggestion. I strongly suggest that you raise your bucket up off the ground. I like to place mine on top of a phone book because I don't use my phone book, and they keep sending me these things, and I don't know what to do with them. They just pile up in the closet. So I found a great use for them. I put my Bokashi bucket right on top of the phone book inside of my kitchen. The main reason for that is that you keep your spigot turned in the down position. I found that when you are moving it from side to down, that it starts to loosen and the spigot starts to leak. So make sure you raise your bucket up off the ground and keep the spigot in the down position. Last thing I want to say is that make sure you're washing your bucket completely after each use. Separate the buckets, take the one out of the other one, wash both of them, run some clean water through the spigot with the spigot in the open position, and give the bucket a thorough rinse before you bring it back into your house. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got to say for right now. Again, the whole point of this is that I want you to do this. I want to see people doing this. You guys are having a huge impact individually by diverting your food waste away from the landfill, and that's the whole point of this. So I want to see you do this, and I'm here to help you. So if you have any questions, please shoot an email to me. My email, you will get me. eachoneteachone.farms@gmail.com.
And the shit will make you jump. Jump, 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 jump. I can smash a beat, so the track will make you run.